shooting, we picked the most difficult set ever. Smoke, mirrors in every direction. Love it. Welcome to Twilight.
You're listening to Another Bite of Twilight, a podcast where we look back on our obsession with the Twilight saga and continue to freak out 10 years later.
Hi guys.
Hello.
Happy Twilight Tuesday.
Welcome back.
Welcome. It's the second episode of the year.
I'm Kelly.
I'm Mel.
And thanks for joining us.
Thanks. If you're new, we are a Twilight podcast. We have different episodes every other week. Sometimes we read the books, sometimes we watch the movies, sometimes we just pick a random theme and we just talk about it. We're cousins.
Yep. And we live together.
Yes.
And that's about it,
That's about it. We look pretty similar.
We're twins.
Did you know that you can be twins with your cousin? Yeah.
Yeah, people think... No, actually, they don't think we're twins.
No, but people definitely always ask us if we're sisters.
It's happened.
Although we met some people at a bar recently. We were like, oh, we're cousins. He goes, I don't see it.
I know. That guy was stupid.
Yeah, he was stupid.
So, we read the Breaking Dawn book a bit ago, and maybe you listened, or maybe not yet, or maybe you're not planning on it because, I don't know why. But, So it's time for us to watch the movie and talk about it, and we're sorry that we haven't yet. I know some people wanted that a few weeks ago.
Yeah, we just thought it would be good to... Well, we also did a poll, and people voted for the commentary on the commentary. But we thought it'd be good to also take a little break from Breaking Dawn, so we didn't overdo it.
Yeah, so we actually just watched the movie. Literally just finished it in our living room.
Yes.
And we've never done this before, where we've watched it and then just talked about it right after.
Yeah,
It's going to be different.
Yeah, we also haven't really watched it together and then talked about it. So we did allow ourselves to talk during it. So it was fun. I honestly think that Lionsgate should pay us to do a commentary.
No! Yeah, but usually we watch or read it separate. Obviously, we don't read it together. But
We have before.
Yeah, we have before. Yeah, years ago we read Breaking Dawn on the phone.
Together.
But usually we take notes and then discuss it later.
Yeah.
So this is different.
Should we just get into it?
Yeah, I guess so. Let's...
Yeah.
Wait. First, I wanted to say, so Breaking Dawn Part 1 is the movie we're discussing. It came out in 2011. And I'm just right now looking at the Rotten Tomatoes page. Not so great.
No.
I hate to tell you guys. I mean, you probably already knew this. But,
Yeah.
you know, if you're younger or new to the fandom, maybe you didn't know. But it has only a 25%.
Yeah.
Not good. And
I think that's better than New Moon, though.
what is New Moon? What? That's insane.
New Moon is really low, too.
New Moon's a beautiful movie.
Let me look it up.
I'm just going to read some of the reviews, though. Here, I'm just going to read the little one-sentence excerpts from all of them, you know. This is a positive one. Someone from Little White Lies, Elisa Kane, said, darker, sexier, sharper, a neat next step. Okay. But then Sarah Stewart from New York Post said, it all goes wrong just when it should go right. Oh.
Yeah.
Someone from Behind the Lens said, the fans, the story, and the Twilight franchise deserve better.
Yeah.
And then someone from News Hub in New Zealand, Kate Rogers, said, I just think you deserve better than this. I really do. And, Matthew Lucas from The Dispatch in Lexington, North Carolina, said, a movie just about Bella's dad would probably be more interesting than any of the hormonal claptrap going on in this one.
Yikes. Yeah, I just looked it up and New Moon was 28%, so it's not that much different. Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like, oh, critics, do we care? No.
Yeah. Because New Moon, I think, is beautiful. I think it's such a great movie.
Me too.
And
wholeheartedly love it.
Yeah, so it's not reflective. I mean, there's some movies I love that are so poorly reviewed, and some movies I hate that are really well reviewed. So I also think that people who are film critics and going to see it, they might not be as invested in the story. And
yeah, I mean, everyone's entitled to their opinion. Yeah, and I don't disagree with some of the things they say.
No, me neither.
Can you think of another movie that you like that has bad reviews?
I feel like I was thinking of one recently. The Jim Carrey Grinch. I like that movie. Not great reviews.
That's so random.
Can you think of one?
I haven't seen it in forever, so I might not even like it anymore, but I remember I liked the movie Jennifer's Body, and I got bad reviews.
Yeah.
But I haven't seen that since it came out.
What about Fever Pitch? That was one of my favorite movies.
That's bad reviews?
I don't know. Let me look it up. Actually, it's 65. It's not that bad.
It's pretty good.
There's definitely... yeah, it should be higher. There's definitely some movies, though. I can't think of them off the top of my head.
Usually I like highly regarded movies.
That would be boring, though, if you only liked good, like, highly acclaimed
I have no
movies.
idea, honestly. I mean, I do like a lot of highly acclaimed movies. I'm not really lying, but
yeah,
I don't know what the reviews are for You've Got Mail or...
It's probably pretty good. It's probably pretty good. I'll have to think.
Oh, Heathers.
It's probably good.
Those are my other favorite movies.
Well, yeah, I mean, we've talked about Breaking Down a bit before, so I feel like our opinions on it are a little well known already, but I think that it helps to have just seen it. And honestly, it's a mixed bag for me. There's some things I think they do really well.
It's such a mixed bag.
And my memories of seeing it are, I shared a video today of my excitement. When I saw this movie, holy shit, I couldn't function for the whole month. Like, it did its job in the moment, for sure.
Okay, my memories of seeing it in theaters are not that strong.
I remember...
Was I with you?
Yes, yeah. I went to hip hop that day.
Okay.
And then I think gosh.
How old were you?
I was 15 years old. I went to hip hop, and then my mom drove me to your house. I had straight hair that day, and then we hung out. We actually no, my mom drove me to Home Goods where your family was for some reason, and passed me off to your mom there at Home Goods, and then we went to.
I remember that.
And then we went to see it in the theaters, and it was
theater.
We went to. I don't remember what theater. I think it was the Showcase by you. In Lowell, yeah. And
Lowell Mass, guys. Who's familiar?
There was a big crowd, and then I remember I had to pee during the beginning of the movie, and I was saying this.
Oh my gosh.
I was saying this during the movie. I literally only missed 15 seconds because I sprinted out of the movie, and I could hear people in the crowd going, "Where's she going? Where's she going?"
Really?
I sprinted. I sat down on the toilet. I just peed, got up, ran right back.
Yeah. Mel left at the part when Bella's saying goodbye to her dad before she leaves for the honeymoon, and she came back, and they were still saying goodbye.
They were still saying goodbye.
She didn't miss anything.
I literally missed maybe 2 sentences.
How did you pull that off?
I just literally, didn't do anything but run, pee, come back.
I remember being sort of mad that happened. I was like, why didn't she pee before?
Because I remember I really had to pee, but I was so nervous. It's going to start. And I didn't want to miss the beginning of it. So it was this, really hard thing. But I should have just gone and peed, especially when...
Yeah.
But, of course, I think I saw it a second time that weekend, so...
So you got that 15 seconds back.
Yeah.
That you missed.
I think I saw it maybe 3 or 4 times in theaters.
That's the worst, having to go to the bathroom during a movie or whatever.
I always worry about it.
I'm sorry I always talk about Game of Thrones, but you know that episode that everyone freaked out about?
Yeah.
I had to pee. I know it's a TV show, so you can watch it again later or whatever, but... it was live, and I had to go to the bathroom so bad the whole time that, I had to, at one point, I was like, I can't do it anymore, so I, got up and went to the bathroom, and I missed them.
Did you pause it?
No one would pause it for me.
What?
I was with.
Who were you watching it with?
Oh,
what
the
heck?
10 people.
That's shitty.
I know. So I missed dying.
Okay, I haven't seen it.
Sorry. You're not gonna watch it. I came back and I could hear it. And I don't know.
Yeah.
Isn't that mean?
It's the worst.
So, okay. Breaking Dawn, the movie. Breaking Dawn Part 1. Insert
movie.
Music or something.
When this started, her opening line, I just said to Kelly, like, I feel like I haven't seen this before. It felt so new to me.
Childhood is a world where nobody dies.
I didn't remember
that.
the beginning of this.
It's kind of like rain and trees, and then it's over Jacob's house.
And we see him running. We had the invitation. Billy
throws his shirt off.
Throws his shirt out. Billy comes out.
Jacob! I thought his delivery was kind of awkward.
Yeah, it was kind of awkward.
Offense.
Does Billy remind anybody else of Michael Jackson?
Let us know.
Wait, does he remind you too of Michael Jackson?
Yeah, I see it.
Yeah, I get the vibe for some reason. I don't know.
Yeah, so Jake runs off. Then we see Bella dragging her heel on the ground.
Literally.
And I always wondered, I just don't get how her foot does that. It's weird.
Yeah.
That's not how people walk in heels.
Yeah.
It scrapes.
Yeah, people would
ground.
not do that. Mm-hmm. And she's dressed very nicely, very high fashion.
We can't talk too much about the fashion because
we already had an episode. And this scene is just kind of cheesy. It's very much a set.
Alice is there.
Yeah, and we see Edward in the window. I mean, it's pretty interesting because in the previous movies, we get like a big introduction for Edward. Mm-hmm. And I think that that's something that really set this apart is like, okay, we don't, we just see him in the window, and then we just have another scene with him in the bedroom.
Yeah.
There's really no slow-mo walk. There's no, look.
Yeah.
And even in Eclipse, we see them kissing in the meadow, but it starts out and they're very separated. And it's
quiet.
Yeah. It felt awkward for me, but I guess it makes sense because at this stage in the story, it wouldn't be like this new, exciting thing.
Kind of sad.
Yeah.
Oh, and we see Renee get the invitation.
Oh, yes.
Down in Florida. And she goes, "It's happening." And I was thinking, she expected it? It's kind of weird.
Well, she must have gotten a call, like, I'm getting married.
I guess, yeah, you're probably right.
That'd be weird if she found out just from a paper invite.
That's what I thought.
No! That would be weird.
They never told us she told her mom on the phone.
She has to.
Yeah, you're right.
Come on. I'm pretty sure. No, in the book, Charlie says, oh, you have to tell Renee. And then Renee takes it
right.
well.
She would say, I'm engaged.
Yeah.
She just seems so chill about her 18-year-old daughter getting married, but
she's a wild card like that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that part I hated because you can tell it's a green screen of the beach behind her. It looks so fake. And I feel like Renee and Phil wouldn't be able to afford living on the water in Florida.
Yeah.
Right? That's expensive real estate. Not everybody, just because you live in Florida doesn't mean you live right on the beach.
I know. That's a good point, Mel.
Yeah, just came to me right now.
Movies are always doing that.
Yeah.
Literally every movie, people are living way more above their means. Like, whatever their job title is, it doesn't make sense.
Exactly. Yeah. I want people living below their means.
That definitely wasn't in the book, so they just added that.
Yeah. Catherine Hardwicke would have never. It would have been way more realistic.
Mm-hmm. Catherine, love you.
We love you so much. Yes. And then... So, yeah, then we have this scene with Bella in her bedroom, and she's cleaning everything out, and Edward comes in, and they're talking, and...
Oh, this is when he says... I always think he says...
Are you getting cold?
Just checking for cold feet. I always think he says coffee.
Yeah, just checking for coffee.
Just checking for coffee.
I was just checking for cold feet.
That sounds like it.
No caffeine before the wedding. Yeah. This scene is so awkward to me. It's the chemistry. it's not the same chemistry that we've experienced in the rest of the series between Rob and Kristen. For some
inexplicable reason.
Yeah, for some reason, it just feels off.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why. Like, they feel very distant. And I think it's the pace, too. It's like, I don't know. It doesn't make sense to even... I know it's in the book, but to have a whole flashback here, it's just weird. I feel like usually in movies, you don't have a flashback so early on.
That is true. However, I do like the flashback a lot.
Yeah.
To be honest. I don't know. I think the set and everything is really cool, and I just enjoy it. And I think it was kind of clever how he's following the woman and then goes after the man who's like a predator. And
yeah,
I like it, but I agree that the pacing of the movie is very strange.
Yeah. You're just kind of watching things happen.
We said this in an email to our listener, Rachael, but I don't know if I typed it or you typed it. I have no idea. But we said that it kind of reminds us of the Sex and the City movies because there's not really a plot, at least yet, and you're just kind of watching them do stuff.
Yeah. And it's like, oh my gosh, you're overstimulated because it's like, oh, my favorite characters on the screen. They're having fun. Yeah. Life is good. But when you break it down, especially if you're not really invested in the story, it's not that exciting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, imagine if you... I said this when we were watching it. Imagine if you had never seen the movies before or read the books or anything, and you just were at home and flipping through channels, and you're like, oh, I'll watch this movie. I mean, I guess series, franchises, they're like this anyway, but you'd be like, what?
I mean, you really should not start a series on the fourth movie.
So then she has that dream about her wedding. For a second, I thought that her wedding dress was a crop top skirt type of thing. And I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. But then I realized it was actually a cream-colored ribbon.
You were like, oh, wait, that's cool. I've never noticed that. She's wearing a crop top.
That'd be so not Bella. But Kristen Stewart would wear that.
It would be so not the times, too.
I don't like that dream. But I know it's a dream, but I said this to Mel that it just felt too... I know it's a dream, but it's too fanciful, and I don't know, the music. I felt like I was in a Disney movie or something.
Yeah. I think it's kind of creative. The big pig pile of all the dead bodies.
I do like it. And we saw Marcus.
Marcus, that sexy beast.
Yeah,
I told Dan that Marcus was not in part 1, but turns out he is.
For a second. No, I do like the dream. I think it's a cool concept and stuff. I think it's just like when she's walking down the aisle. For a second there, I just felt as though, like, what is this? Like, it just doesn't feel like a Twilight.
Yeah.
I guess it's what we talk about when you think about the first movie to now.
It's just...
It felt just so different, but
moved
I know
so
it's a
far.
Dream, so.
Yeah. I will say, I feel like I should wait to say this again, but whatever, I'll just say it now. I feel like that's my big criticism of the Breaking Dawns is we've just moved so far from this story that I love. But while I was watching this, I said to myself, you know what? I kind of have to let go of that, like that expectation, and think of this as its own movie. And I understand a lot of the creative choices that they're making, and I almost feel like some of them are necessary with the story. So,
like what?
Like they kind of at the end go for more of like an Exorcist vibe, or like it feels like very campy, like very exaggerated, very cheesy, but it's leaning into that. And I feel like the story of itself is so weird that they kind of had no choice in a way to do that. Like it'd be kind of weird if it was still earnest the way the first Twilight was. With a story so weird. I would have liked to see that. I guess we'll never know.
I feel like this was really earnest.
Yes, but like even like with the credits and stuff, you can.
Oh yeah.
I almost feel like, I mean, this is a criticism, but this movie feels like the epitome of what people who don't like Twilight think Twilight is. It felt like it was almost made by someone who has never seen it, and this is what their assumptions were. And I feel like part of that is kind of the story is just weird, and like so they had to make it cheesy, and I don't know, like if they made it like more brooding and serious. I mean, it is brooding. Oh gosh, I don't even know what I'm saying. You know what I mean?
No, I do get what you're saying.
If they shot it like the first one, I would have loved it, but I don't know if it would go with the story.
We'd have to see it.
Yeah. Can they remake it?
I guess it could have been sort of like an indie horror movie type of vibe.
Yeah.
I haven't even seen Midsummer, but I'm just guessing like that.
Yeah.
But
that would be cool.
some things I think would have had to be cut if they did that.
Mm-hmm. I'm fine with that.
Because you're right, some of the things in it can't really be taken seriously.
Mm-hmm.
No offense to people that love the story, but some of it is just so over the top and weird. And they chose to keep it all, maybe because Stephanie Meyer was like a co-producer.
Yeah.
And if you're going to keep a lot of it, then yeah, you're right. Like they went the kind of campy route.
Yeah, it's super campy. And but I think that if you accept it as that, it's not as disappointing. If you say, okay, this is what it is now, then you can go with it.
Yeah.
But the problem is I still hold on to the love that I have for the first movie and still put that expectation on this.
I do think you do kind of have to, I can take this advice, I should. Yeah, let go of the attachment of the first one. Because they are all directed by someone different and they're just not the same. So,
but even New Moon has a different vibe from Twilight, but the Breaking Dawns feel so set apart from the first three.
It really does.
It feels so different. Maybe that's because there was even a longer gap between when it was released. I mean, it's not that long, but it's a year and a half.
I think some of it might be just all the CGI. There's so much of it in Breaking Dawn.
Yeah.
And even just the way they look, because I guess they used CGI to do most of the vampire makeup and how Bella looks and everything. It just doesn't look the same.
No. Yeah, the makeup was I can't talk about this. Wait, no, we didn't talk about makeup, really.
We didn't talk about makeup, no.
The makeup was such a letdown. Everybody looks so horrible.
I know.
And the color is just, everybody looks so much darker and like almost like, you know when you take a picture, but like you haven't edited it yet, so like it's really dark and like you need to just turn the brightness up. Like that's what it feels like. Like it's just dull.
Everybody looks very strange.
Yeah. And
especially Rosalie,
Carlisle,
and Esme.
Yes. Jasper, not
Jasper looks
great.
kind of weird. All the blondes look weird.
Yeah. I think Emmett looks great.
Yeah.
I think Emmett actually looks better in this one.
Alice's face looks good.
Yeah.
I can't talk about hair though because we did an episode.
Okay, but let's go back to the movie in chronological order.
So, wedding.
So, the fake wedding. And then we have... Wait, when you saw the fake wedding, I can't remember. Did you think at first, like, what? This is it?
I think I did, yeah.
I think I might have, too.
I think I fell for it.
Yeah. That would be so disappointing.
Yeah.
It just happens that quickly.
I know. It would be.
Yeah, but then we get to the real wedding.
Wait, remember before that, she's getting ready, and we remarked that Renee was a really good actress.
Oh, she was. I said I wanted to remember that. Yeah, Renee is great in this film.
Yeah.
Honestly, the whole series.
She started crying, and when I said she was walking up the stairs and kind of tripped a little bit. I don't know. She was just really playing the character well.
Yeah. Super believable. Renee is such a great actor in this series that I never even considered how good she was.
Yeah.
You know,
she didn't even seem like she was acting.
No, because it's just so believable. So good job.
Yeah, good job. And yeah, so Bella's getting ready,
and then we're at the wedding.
Walks down the aisle. Camera stays on Stephanie Meyer.
A bit too long. Yeah.
As a cameo.
Yeah. I think it's nice that they had her.
1 second too long.
1 second, yeah. It's nice that they had her in there, but I feel like they didn't even need to, like, have a shot of her. She could have just been in the background.
Yeah. We would have seen it.
Along with Wick and Melissa.
Wick. I always say Wyke.
Wyke.
I'm not familiar with that name.
Yeah, me neither. What if I named a kid after Wick?
It was phenomenal work in the Twilight saga.
Yeah.
Wick,
yeah.
My son Wick. Do it. I dare you.
We were talking earlier about, like, Twilight names. I said I would name my son or daughter Cullen, maybe. People would see right through that, obviously.
Yeah, definitely would.
Yeah.
Colin. What do you think of wedding scene?
I thought this was really beautifully shot. I don't have much criticism of it.
It's beautifully shot.
It's so cute.
Not a criticism at all, but the kiss is really, really, really long.
Really long. They make out in front of everybody. Yeah.
It's kind of crazy.
And then, the whole, the flightless bird. Oh my gosh, that was such a smart decision. The fact that they did that, that meant a lot to me.
So beautiful.
So beautiful.
And then they're playing My Love by Sia. Well, the quartet or whatever is playing it on the
Yeah.
cello
We were
and stuff.
saying it must be weird for Rob and Kristen to film that scene when they're actually dating in real life.
Yeah. I can't imagine, like, no, you picture it with a guy, and, like, just imagine you
That
and
would
your
feel
boyfriend
so real.
acting out that you're getting married. How do you, after that, just be like,
Yeah, we were just
I
dating.
feel like you would have to have a conversation then, like, do you see a future?
Yeah. I mean, you have to talk about it. Like, it would feel so real.
Yeah.
Especially, like, for them, because they're not, like, super close with the cast and stuff, but, like, they've known all these people for so long. It's not just, like, random people who are watching it happen.
Crazy.
I would feel extra self-conscious.
Me too.
Because it would feel real.
I'd be a bad actor.
Yeah.
The wedding has all the speeches.
That's
many.
weird. It's weird.
Yeah.
Weddings-
I feel like we've talked about this before, haven't we?
I think maybe.
should
Yeah,
have.
we see Emmett come up. We see Jessica, which would not happen.
Yeah.
Why would Jessica volunteer to go up
I
and give us?
know.
She might actually.
She might.
I feel like she always wants to be in the middle of things.
Renee, Charlie, and then Esme.
Esme, that's so awkward.
Way too many. And
Alice, shoes,
handbags.
handbags, skirts.
That many people should not be up at the mic. And Edward, don't forget.
No, there's like too much of that. I feel like
Yeah.
weddings don't have enough time for all those speeches.
I was telling
Do
Mel,
they?
I did. Usually it's just, the
Best
maid of honor,
man.
best man, and maybe the dads.
Yeah. And maybe
reason.
the bride and groom.
Yeah. But I went to a wedding this summer. It was beautiful. It was an amazing wedding. It was outside, actually, like, sort of reminded me of this movie. It wasn't that extravagant, not to knock it or anything. I mean, what wedding would be this extravagant?
Yeah.
I don't think any would be, but it had so many flowers and everything. It kind of reminded me of this wedding. But anyway, that happened where so many people were just getting up and taking the mic.
God.
It was nice, but there was a part of me that was like, what the heck? Like,
Yeah.
is the whole party gonna get up and just say their thoughts?
I also feel like the vibe of the Cullen wedding wouldn't be for people to feel so loose. You know? I feel like they'd still be a little bit nervous.
I hate that nobody laughs at Emmett's joke.
Yeah.
Why is there awkward silence?
Some people, like Mike, should have laughed. Well,
Yeah.
Mike is probably jealous.
It doesn't, at a wedding, people would be like, ha! I mean, you know?
We noted that Edward had a glass of champagne in his hand. We're like, oh, we like that. We like that he, is drinking or pretending to drink the champagne. And then we remembered they're underage
Yeah.
at this wedding.
What the heck?
Well, maybe it was like a sparkling.
Sparkling cider.
Yeah.
Apple juice.
Yeah.
How can you not drink champagne at your own wedding?
Yeah, you have to. I remember
Did you try it?
Oh, you must have been over 21. We went to a wedding and for one of our cousins and we were under
No, I
21.
wasn't.
Oh, you weren't?
No.
Oh, yeah, we were under 21 and we kept getting our champagne taken away. I think maybe 3 or 4 times.
Mine didn't get taken away.
Oh, really? Because you had your fake on you?
Probably.
Oh, wait, shoot. Should I say that?
I don't care. And I also drank at Julie's wedding.
I did too. That wedding was less strict.
Yeah.
The other one was like at like the Harvard or something. It was like
Harvard Club.
fancy.
It was great.
It was the best wedding, but
I love weddings.
oh gosh.
The best time ever. Oh. So, yeah, then they're leaving for the honeymoon.
They're leaving for the honeymoon. Yeah, this is when I'm in the bathroom.
I actually really like the shot of Bella in the car as they're driving away, and
It's too long. It's very long.
I like it though. It has like the trees over. It just feels very Twilight-y.
Yeah,
to me.
I guess it's like, she's leaving her old life behind, you know?
I like the
We
forest
see her thinking.
reflection. It's cool.
Yeah, okay. I'll allow it.
A little artistic moment.
All right.
kinda. All right.
Yeah, so they're flying, and then they're in Rio. I like the scene when they're dancing
And
in
then
the
they
streets.
make out.
They make out because they see other couples making out. It feels very lively and fun. Makes me want to go to Rio. Shout out to our Brazilian listeners.
Yep.
And then they're in the boat, and they're going to Isle Esme.
Edward's smiling a lot in this part.
So cute, so cute. Yes, and then they get to the honeymoon, and they look so nervous.
It's kind of cool if you think about, like, if you contrast how smiley Edward is and how at ease he's acting, and then compare that to the beginning of Twilight, how serious he is in the biology lab and, like, punching the bus door. Like, he was so serious. He's come a long way.
He has. And then it gets serious again.
Yeah.
But it is so cute.
It is cute.
And just like the way they're like looking at the bed.
Oh,
and
yeah, he looks nervous. That
he
part
looks
makes me embarrassed.
So it's so tender and cute. And then, he goes out into the water and you see his back. And then we have the sex scene.
I feel nervous. I feel nervous myself during that part.
Yeah, me too.
It's really pretty, them making out in the water and stuff. It visually looks nice.
Yeah,
job.
yeah. She really has a bikini on with like a green screen thing, and then they like edited that out because it's PG-13.
It is PG-13.
Yes, which is evident by the next part where they're making love, and it's not enough, frankly, but it is still really hot. Especially I think if you watched it like more in slow motion.
Try that.
Yeah, like there is like some thrusting. There's his back.
His
it's super
back
hot.
is so gorgeous.
Their faces are really hot. I love the little giggle they do in the beginning.
Yeah.
It's so
Oh,
cute.
it is so cute.
But then she wakes up and you see the feathers and you're like, holy shit, that's a
The
great...
room is trashed.
The room is trashed, which when you're in the theater, it's like, oh my God.
Yeah.
What happened? And then you get the like her thinking about it, and it's her memories of it are so tender, which is sweet.
Yeah.
But why can't we see him bite the pillow?
I know. It's funny because the flashbacks are showing them not even moving. It shows her blinking while he kisses her slowly.
Slowly.
Like, okay, how did this trash the room?
Yes. Yeah, it's like, obviously, Bella, you have to remember the like wild parts to this.
It's cute that she's looking in the mirror and remembering it and like touching her face and stuff. It's so sweet.
Yeah.
But yeah, they really... I'm grateful for what we got, but we didn't get enough.
I wonder if they filmed parts of him just like going crazy. Probably not.
Probably not.
But I would love, you guys, I'm not going to do my spiel again, but sign the petition. It's in the link in the bio in our Instagram.
Petition for more
Sign
footage.
it.
Yeah.
I'm going to check on it, and if you don't sign it,
We'll know.
we'll know.
If you didn't sign it.
And also, if you didn't sign it, why? Why?
Yeah, tell us why. Curious. Oh, so then, Edward is upset because she has bruises, and we loved this part when we were watching it, that she says, "You're not going to touch me again, are you?" And then he reaches out a finger and like touches her
face.
lips. It's so
Yeah,
funny.
it's so cute. That
cute.
reminds me of the part in Twilight when she says, "You don't even say hi to me," and then he says hi.
Yeah.
The classic Edward.
And she says, "That's not what I mean."
And then we have this montage, which seeing that in the
I really
theater
like it.
for the first time killed me.
Yeah, it's so cute. That song From Now On.
Mm-hmm.
It's like an upbeat indie rock song, and it's just so cute.
We just see them having fun on their
Really
honeymoon.
energizes me.
Yeah, the part when like she comes out in the lingerie and then he smiles here and
Yeah.
rolls over.
Ugh.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And when they're
Kill
jumping
me.
into the waterfall, they're just so smiley.
I think that
so
jump
cute.
is a little awkward.
Okay, yeah, the jump is weird.
Yeah.
But in between CGI action.
Yeah. Oh, and they're in the waterfall and
Yeah.
they're kissing. It's so cute.
But then he zooms forward and leaves her like spitting water out.
Yeah.
You just left Bella way back there.
Yeah. It's because he can't handle himself.
Okay, the dream she has a dream that they hook up basically or make love
After playing chess.
playing
Yeah.
chess. Sorry, this is me just fangirling here, but he just looks so cute.
Oh my god, his smirk.
His face is just so
Ugh.
adorable in it. He looks young.
Yeah.
He looks innocent. I almost wonder if they did something. I
He
don't know.
looks amazing in the I mean, he looks amazing in the whole movie.
Yeah.
But mostly in the beginning of the movie. I wonder if that's on purpose.
Maybe.
I like can't get enough of it. We also just watched the Rob. Oh gosh,
Do
the
you
Rob.
guys know about this?
The Dior ad. We watched that
Dior Homme.
a million times.
Guys, I said this to you in a text. It really feels like you're watching what it's like. I mean, we don't know him, but what it's like to date him.
Yeah.
He's being all sexy, but also funny.
It's
and
honestly
goofy,
stressful.
and he's dancing like a crazy person.
Yeah, he like is pulling the girl under the table.
Yeah. Oh my
I
gosh.
can't.
And the song's like, if you want a lover, do whatever you ask me to.
Oh gosh, yeah, I posted it to Kelly and I are so synchronized. We both wanted to post it to our personal Instagrams, and I just did. I beat her to
Proud
it.
of you.
Yeah, I hope you do too. Are you going to?
Sure.
I hope you don't do it. Don't do it because I did it.
What if I don't?
No, I don't want that to ruin it for you. Do it. I want to see what your caption is.
Okay.
People always do that. They post the same thing as their friends.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that does happen.
So then after her dream, they make love again. And this
moonlight.
part, yeah, in the moonlight, literally. And this part is way hotter.
Oh my
Oh
gosh,
gosh,
she's on
it's
top.
very steamy.
This actually, yeah, I've seen this movie so many times, but for some reason I felt like I didn't remember it.
Yeah.
I was like, whoa, this is actually quite suggestive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I feel like I've seen gifs of this, like, on Giphy or whatever, but, like, just, like, randomly, not...
Oh, yeah. I used to see
In
gifs
context.
of it on Tumblr,
Yeah.
in black and white, and people...
People don't know Twilight, yeah.
People would reblog it to their sex blogs or whatever.
Yes!
Yeah, I definitely
I still
saw that.
see it frequently on the Giphy app. People probably don't know.
It is really hot.
It is super hot. Okay, so then it cuts right after this to
Yeah.
Charlie. And it's kind of a really sharp contrast. It's like hot, making love, and then boom, Charlie.
Your dad, Bella.
Yeah, and that's like a bad dream. Is it Jacob's bad dream of like Bella being dead?
Yeah.
And then,
I don't know if it's a dream, just kind of him daydreaming about it, I guess.
yeah.
Because then it shows him on the beach in La Push talking to Leah and Seth.
Yeah,
Yeah, and
about
Sally.
imprinting and
And she's like, at least they're happy.
yeah. Being happy is being any kind of happy is better than being miserable about someone
Yeah.
you can't have.
I do agree with that.
Yeah. Did you now have a defense of imprinting?
Oh, yeah. So, I guess Mel has opened up about her personal
I just did, yeah.
problems and stuff in the past, middle school, whatever. So, I'm going to right now. I'm going through a hard time lately. Going through heartbreak, you could say. And it made me realize that imprinting, not so bad. I said to my sister, I was like, you know what? I would gladly imprint on a baby right now. If it took me out of this feeling, I would take it. Yeah, and this is later in
On
the
a
movie.
baby? Even on a baby.
If it meant, like, this feeling just goes away, it's appealing.
Yeah.
I get what Leah's saying. Like, yeah, any kind of happiness is better than being miserable.
Yeah.
And that whole worry about, like, oh my God, like, am I going to die alone? Like, I'm never going to find anyone else. I know that's not, like, a rational thing to think, not a helpful thing to think anyway, but it's hard to talk yourself out of it. for that worry to go away. I still think imprinting's crazy. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But I was kind of joking when I said it, but I get it.
Yeah.
And the quote, this is later in the movie, but the part when Jacob goes, "What was the point? Me loving you, you loving him." I used to always rat on that quote.
Yeah.
But in my newfound breakup
Outlook on life, yeah.
I was like, yeah, I get that. Jacob, I totally get you, Jacob. So, yeah, that's where I'm at right now.
But wouldn't it be even worse if the person that you imprinted on didn't want you back or died?
Or died. Who dies?
But they could die.
Yeah, everyone will die, technically.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, that would be horrible. Well, we know that in this world, they always do end up with the person they end.
Exactly, yeah.
No, I don't actually.
I agree, no.
But
I feel like I have felt in the past, like, I wish there was even just, like, a pill or something you could take that could make it so easy to just, like, move on.
Life is hard.
It's hard.
You know, sometimes you think it really depends on what your perspective is and whatever's going on.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes it's hard.
It can be.
And, yeah. I just relate to Jacob right now.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure we have listeners who are like probably even going through the same thing.
Yeah.
So.
Or have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like we all like are in it together.
Mm-hmm. I like that about Twilight, and also I like that we've talked about this. New moon happens, and that Bella and Amber break up, and that she's so sad and stuff. I do like that part of Twilight.
Yeah,
I'm
me
glad
too.
That it happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean that part. Bella's own despair has meant so much to me because I have felt that, and it's real. Like, it doesn't even matter if it's a vampire or whatever. Like, everybody has felt that way, and I feel like it's better to, like, acknowledge that and to be real about it.
Yeah, it's so true. Like, being sad or depressed isn't, I don't know, a lot of times I think movies and stuff make it seem like you can get over things really quickly. Like, just go out with your girlfriend, just have some ice cream, and then, like, you're fine.
Yeah, like, just listen to breakup songs, screw them, like...
It's not like that.
No.
So...
And it's okay if it's not. Like, healing takes time. You can't rush it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think that's really, really realistic. This is not even about breaking down anymore, but just realistic to show how long it was taking Bella, and she would get better and then have another bad day and then be feeling better and then have a bad day, especially in the books. So. Yeah.
It's not linear.
No. That's all I gotta say about that. So, yeah, Jacob on the beach. Oh yeah, he says like, at least I get to kill some bloodsuckers or something, right?
Yeah, he's and still on that shit.
Sam's like, no, you don't.
Yeah. And he's like, what?
Yeah.
The clones aren't a threat. Yeah. I say Jacob. Yeah. I like that too. Yeah. I like it. I like the scene on the beach. I think it's good. It's cute.
Yeah.
I like to see like, the Wolfpack doing their own thing separate from the Cullens and just having fun, playing soccer.
Yeah. I enjoy it.
And then I think we're back
to
Isle Esme, and this is when Bella's eating the chicken, and she starts throwing up. Yep. And then
realizes she's pregnant.
Stuff happens. I hate this part so much.
And then Mel and I are like, oh!
This is when, I feel like in the beginning of the movie, I was like, okay, I like this, I like this. Like, you know, some things I didn't like. I didn't like how small they look in the window in the beginning.
Yeah.
But for the most part, I didn't like the backdrops. But for the most part, I'm like, okay, not bad so far. This part is when it gets so cringy to me.
It is cringy. It's just hard to wrap my head around the accelerated pregnancy thing, and it's ridiculous. Yes. But she's like holding her stomach, and it's completely flat. She's like, I think I might be pregnant. Yeah. To Carlisle on the phone.
Yeah, I feel so bad for Kristen that she had to act this whole part out.
I mean,
she did a good job. To it. Yeah. The stomach thing. They should have just... Is she even sticking her stomach out?
It doesn't look like it.
She should have, like, ate something that, like, really made her bloated that day.
Did Kristen Stewart lose weight for this role, or was she just so happened to also be really skinny?
She definitely looks thinner than she was in previous movies. I mean, well, that's tough to tell because of the CGI. But I almost feel like she has lost a natural amount of weight that people just lose when they get a little bit older.
That's true. Like in your face.
Yeah, her face
Yeah.
looks thinner.
But that does happen.
Yeah. But she probably also naturally lost weight because they filmed this at the same time that they filmed Breaking Down Part 2, and so she probably was, like, really fit from all the action stuff that they did.
Mm-hmm. So, she's pregnant, and...
Edward's pissed.
Edward's pissed. He zips around the house, packs up.
Yeah, the housekeeper shows up. I forget her name. What is it?
Kari?
Yeah, something like that. And Edward is like, what is this? Like, you know, she has legends. Like, tell me anything I can do. And she's like refusing to tell him anything. And it's like, and he's trying to beg it out of her. Edward, you can read her mind.
I know.
Why do they miss this? Why is he begging her? Like,
it's odd.
I doubt she's purposely not thinking about it. I doubt she knows that Edward can read her mind.
I know.
That's weird how they forgot that.
Missed.
All he had to do was ask her once, and that would have triggered her to think about it.
Yeah.
If she wasn't already. So weird.
That was a goof.
Yeah.
So then they go back.
They go back. This shot of them in the car is pretty sad, like the distance.
Yeah, it is sad.
And it contrasts.
Honeymoon's over.
Yeah.
It does make me sad.
We go back, and then we're with Jacob again, and he finds out that Bella's sick. Then he goes to the Carlisle's house.
The Carlisle's house. Oh yeah, we said that wouldn't it be awkward because Charlie he's at Jacob's house, and he tells Jacob and Billy and Sue, oh, Bella's sick, and Jacob's like, what does he say?
She said that? She's sick?
Yeah. And then what does he say before he storms off?
I don't know.
But his dad is like, Jacob. And
let it go.
Yeah, let it go, Jacob.
And then he's like, and runs off. And it's like, if you were Charlie, you'd be like, why is this kid freaking out? Like, Bella just has a stomach bug.
Yeah. Very weird reaction.
Yeah. You can tell that Charlie does react. Like, okay, that's weird.
Yeah.
And then he goes and he sees Bella. She's sick. And Bella looks horrible.
Yeah, why does she have to look that bad?
It's bad. I mean, this is not even the worst it gets.
I know, but I just think they take it too far.
This face is so... Because Kristen is already really skinny.
Her cheekbones are pointy.
It's her chin. Looks like you could grab it in your hand and break it off. It's so disturbing.
And then she stands up and her stomach's all bruised.
It's gross.
Like, I mean, they did a good job disturbing you.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of the point. They're leaning into that campy, disturbing. It's horror without being scary.
Yeah.
Even though it is a little bit scary.
It definitely gets a feeling out of you.
Mm-hmm.
Like Dan was talking about.
Yeah. Next, he tries to, like, convince Bella, but that doesn't do anything. And then he, like, runs off, and then we have that scene with the wolves.
My least favorite scene
in the whole
series. Maybe my least favorite movie scene of all movies.
Well, it's the most disappointing scene for sure.
Guys, please, like, don't think that we hate Twilight. We love Twilight, okay?
We love Twilight. I don't even hate this movie.
I do like Breaking Dawn, but this scene is truly horrible.
It's so bad.
It should not have been made. I have a feeling that they made this scene. They spent so much money on the CGI. Basically, I guess we should say that if anyone forgets that the scene is the wolves fighting about what to do about Bella.
And all their thoughts are in their head. Yeah. So it's just these CGI wolves thinking things.
Yeah.
And it feels like
a kid's movie.
It's like Homeward Bound meets Thomas the Tank. It's so bad.
And their voices sound like Darth Vader.
Yeah.
It's like, it's an abomination. Okay.
She's dying anyway.
It doesn't even sound like them.
We have to protect the tribe. What they've bred won't be able to control its thirst. Every human will be in danger.
We're ready. No time to waste.
Now? We must destroy it before it's born.
You mean kill Bella?
Her choice affects us all.
Bella's human. Our protection applies to her.
She's dying anyway!
I have a feeling that they made this scene and then realized, shit, this
doesn't fit.
Because I actually couldn't hear it that well. Did you feel that way?
Yeah.
Because they were covering it up with this really loud score.
Which they probably didn't intend to do in the first place.
They had all these, like, horns playing and dramatic music. why didn't they have them fight in their human forms and just be talking?
They should have.
And then turn into wolves and beat each other up,
and then we as the audience can infer what happened.
Yeah.
And then in the next scene with Seth and Leah, we should have seen them be like, Jake, we're joining your pack. So we get that they broke off.
Yeah.
Like, even in his human form, he should have said, I'm not born to follow you.
Yeah,
and then,
he should have said that. Then, I was thinking, everyone's human. But then Jake and Sam are fighting verbally and getting really heated up. Maybe they punch each other. And then the two of them turn into wolves and fight. And then Jake already said, I'm leaving the pack or something. And he runs off. Then maybe Sam and Leah start to walk away. And the others are like, where are you going? And then they turn into wolves and they
Perfect.
Like, run off.
That would have been a great scene. Perfect.
They should have had me in the writer's room.
I think that their intentions didn't match the end result, and they probably realized it, but they had already spent a shit ton of money and didn't want to redo it.
I bet they were like, well, we haven't shown that the wolves can communicate with their minds yet. That's an element that we haven't shown on the screen, and we have to.
It doesn't work. It doesn't work. Of course, we know that this is how it happened in the book.
Yeah.
But some things just don't translate on screen, and you have to change it.
Books are so much different. I mean, I think some books just should not be turned into movies in the first place. A lot of like really literary books like wouldn't work as a movie, you know?
Yeah, I agree.
Some books where like nothing really happens, but it's still a great book.
But it's still so much things that are very much in the mind do not translate on screen. You have to adapt it majorly in order for it to make sense. This honestly, the CGI here, it's like on the level of Cats. It's just so bad. It's so bad.
It is.
It's so cheesy. I'm so sorry, Bill
kills
Condon. I feel like you probably know this, so
Bill Condon, we love you.
we love you. We know you're listening, so I'm so sorry.
I'm sorry.
It's I'm just disappointed.
I wish I could cut this scene out.
Yeah.
And watch a version without it.
Honestly, if they just even cut it out and didn't replace it with anything, it would still be better than having it in. I think we would still get what happened. Or even we see him running. Okay, stop the scene right there. Don't show us what happens. We'll pick it up from what happens later. Like,
kills me.
What do you guys think? Does anyone like this scene? Tell us. We won't judge you.
No, we won't. I want to hear why people do like it.
Yeah.
So, that abomination of a scene happens, and then back at the Collin house, lots of standing around.
Lots of Bella being sick. She's getting skinnier and skinnier. The bathtub.
She looks
horrible. It's so bad. It's like a concentration camp or
I was going to say the same thing.
I didn't want to, but it's so scary looking.
Smell.
I know.
It is scary looking. It's really concerning.
Yeah. It's a little bit too far. It's hard to believe that someone could still be alive when they look that sick.
I don't get it.
Yeah.
I don't get how...
Especially still be pregnant.
Yeah.
I think that's the thing that we were confused about. I was like, I feel like her stomach would break off. Have you ever seen a really skinny person who's also pregnant? And you're like, I don't understand. Yeah, like, I saw one lady in Forever 21 once where you couldn't tell from the back. And then she turned and I was like, oh my God. I thought her stomach would literally snap off because
That's scary.
Yeah. Because I'm like, I don't understand how your body can just hold that.
I don't know. I don't get it. Yeah, I don't get how she's living either. I like Edward's sweater in this scene, and Emmett's walking across the floor, and it shows his feet.
When Edward's doing research.
Yeah.
It's a little bit hard to believe that all of this stuff is just online. I feel like for them to actually find credible research, they'd have to, like, search really old libraries, like, in Europe or something.
So true. They were definitely mimicking the first movie, which I like, but I also kind of don't love it when TV shows and movie series start to do that, when they just start referencing how great it used to be or whatever, you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
But I do like the scene. I'm not trashing it, but they do it a few times in this movie, like with the flightless bird. I do like it, like, don't get me wrong, but they're just kind of acknowledging, like, oh, remember how great Twilight was?
Yeah.
And later we get the montage, which I do love the montage.
Yeah.
But it's just kind of...
But the movie should be good enough that it stands alone.
Yeah. I guess that's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Just the wolf scene just really hurts me.
Oh, yeah. Then we have this scene when Edward yells at Bella.
Giving me no choice.
Carlisle looks horrible in the scene right before. It's so bad. Like, just the shots of him, they should have reshot it.
They really should have. He looks so...
And it's nothing against Peter Fasinelli. I think he's a great-looking guy, but the hair and makeup...
It looks so horrible.
It's so bad. It's so
And
disappointing.
vampires are supposed to be gorgeous, so it just doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
And they're not supposed to change,
Yeah.
so it doesn't make sense.
They should have had consistent looks. They should have picked a look in the first one and then just gone with it all the way through. No matter, even if you regretted that choice, who cares? That's the look you went for, and just
Give me
keep
no
it.
choice. Sorry, you just said choice. I think Rob does a good job in that scene.
Yeah, his accent, his New York accent is phenomenal.
What do you think of that predicament that they're in?
I think it's tough because, you know, they are married, but at the same time, it is Bella's choice. It's her body, so in a way, he doesn't really get a choice.
It's not really... It's one of those situations you can't reach a compromise on.
No, there's no middle ground there.
Yeah.
There really is no middle ground.
It's just, you know, life is hard.
Life is hard, but I do understand Edward's anger, especially after everything they've gone through.
Yeah.
I mean, especially...
I don't choose that.
And I don't choose that.
like
When he storms off.
Aww.
Poor Bella there.
I like in the background on the wall, I noticed they have this artwork that's kind of like all these pages from a book or something with a white tree painted over it. I like that decoration.
Yeah.
I want to copy it.
Yeah. I didn't notice that, but I'll pay attention next time. And then we have... She drinks the blood, and she gets stronger. Kelly's really grossed out. Yeah. Kelly, this grosses you out, right?
The thing that grosses me out the most is actually just how Bella looks. And that second face is just... I said, it looks like she's been dead for a week.
Yeah, she looks like, what's his name, Prince Philip.
She looks like a zombie. She looks so bad.
Yeah.
Why do you say this grosses me out? Does it? Oh, yeah, I guess it does.
The blood. I think the thing that grosses me out is the blood on her teeth. I actually one time did this volunteer thing with this girl, and her lips were so chapped. And then she had blood all over her teeth. And I said something to her. I was like, oh, you know, you have some blood here. And she goes, yeah, I know. She didn't fix it. It was so weird.
Yeah, I know.
That part of the movie always reminds me of that girl.
That actually doesn't disturb me that much.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of cool.
Yeah, I think it's a good look.
Yeah.
I wouldn't change it. It makes it scary.
Oh, and then we have when Edward hears the baby's thoughts.
So cute.
Very cute scene. Oh,
Yeah.
and they're like giggling and kissing and stuff.
Kristen's a great actor in that scene. The crying.
Yeah.
And we have to remember, Kristen, when she's filming this, is only 20 years old.
Wow.
To, like, go through all these major life experiences when she is such a young actor is so impressive. Like, I cannot stand how people criticize Kristen's performances in the series because that is asking...
Mel has a fist right now.
It's asking so much of a young actor, and she really hit it out of the park. The fact that she managed to do this whole franchise...
I agree.
At just under 20 years old.
Yeah.
Kristen, I love you so much.
You're listening.
Kristen, we know you gotta be. I mean,
She's
maybe
not.
maybe CJ's listening. Emma Roberts.
I'm a Robert. They're not listening. Jacob's sad he witnesses this. But what did he expect?
Yeah.
I guess he just liked that Edward was on his side against the baby, but...
You know, I have to be honest, I like Jacob in this movie. I don't hate him.
He's fine.
He's fine, and I understand where he's coming from. And I think it's really nice that he's still hanging out.
He does have some stupid lines. Like, I don't hate him for them. I just think they're so cheesy and cringeworthy.
Yeah.
Like, kind is my middle name.
Yeah.
Best man.
Oh.
What did he say?
The best man didn't have time to get a tux.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not the best man.
No, you're not. But that's not really his fault. It's Melissa Rosenberg's fault.
I hate the kind is my middle name.
Kind is my middle name. It's like
So cheesy.
It's not. Well, yeah, but
Who says that?
He is young, as Amanda said in our last one. So I feel like when you're young, you just say stupid things like that.
I guess. It's just,
What's
I thought Jacob
Blondie's
was
deal?
cooler than that.
Yeah. I hear ya.
I like when he's like, what you thinking, Bella?
Yeah, what you thinking, Bella? I like that. I like
What
when
is
he's sweet.
At the wedding when they dance together, what does he say? I think he just says, hey, Bella, or something.
Yeah,
and I
it's
was like,
pretty-
I like that.
Yeah, it was sweet the way you said it. And then she goes, hey.
Yeah.
It's cute.
He's fine in this. I mean, he really does a lot for the Collins if you think about it.
Yeah.
He puts his life aside. Remember in the book we were like, what the heck is he doing? Like, he has no life.
Yeah.
But,
he's not going to school.
especially after Renesmee's born. But, yeah. Oh, yeah, that was cool when he tricks
Sam.
Paul.
Oh, yeah,
and
Paul.
the other guys.
Yeah, by saying, like, I want Leah and Seth to join you. And then...
You played us.
You played us. Yeah. It honestly played
Alex
me.
Morales.
I forgot that.
I forgot too.
I forgot it was a joke. I'm like, wait, why is he doing this?
Yeah. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Nifty.
Yeah, Alex Mraz was funny here.
His arms were pretty buff. Well,
Yeah.
at least he was holding them out as if they were.
Oh, yeah, he was really holding them out. He's a tough guy. He was cute.
Yeah.
Quill was kind of funny. I didn't mention this when we were watching it, but Quill's like just kind of there.
Yeah.
You know.
I felt the same way.
Yeah.
What does that even mean, though? He's just kind of there. Something about
He's just kind
the
of
way he
standing
looks.
there.
Yeah.
He just seems so innocent.
Yeah.
And then we have this like fight with like
yeah.
right before the birth with Esme and Emmett. And I was saying this would have been a great time for Emmett or Esme or both to die.
Yeah.
Not that I want them to, but like I do, because you need someone to die, as we've talked about before. And I think I've decided those two candidates would be the best people to die, because they're not as interesting on their own. So you need them to die for people to care about them a little bit more.
It's true. I agree.
Yeah.
I forgot that they fought like that.
Emmett's really attractive in this movie, actually.
He is.
He's like the one who's like the most attractive in this movie.
And I felt like he was doing some nice acting with his facial
Face,
expression.
yeah. I don't know if he says too much.
He doesn't.
But
There's a part when...
they're really thirsty.
Oh, yeah. They say, like, you guys need to hunt or something.
And
What
Bella's
do they
like
say? And
thirsty.
somehow in his face, he just conveys that he's thirsty.
Yeah, it was really
And
good.
looks hopeless. Yeah.
Kellen, we love you.
I just saw... I took very few notes in my phone while we were watching. There's two things I forgot to say. Can I say them?
Yeah.
This is going back. Sorry, guys. But during the honeymoon, when Edward says, "Prey on beautiful women," he's saying that Kari knows he's like a demon and is worried about her, and he says like that, "Prey on beautiful women," and he smiles like really wide in like a teasing way, and
And
then
leans
kisses
into
Bella,
her.
and
Yeah, it's so cute.
I feel like that's such an underrated part. He looks so cute. And then, okay, there's a part we didn't talk about when Bella's, pregnant and Wicked's sick and everything. And she calls her dad and says that she's being moved to a treatment center in Switzerland. And he thinks that she's still in Brazil. Mm-hmm. But she's on the home phone.
Yes!
And she hangs up. And I was like, what if Charlie had caller ID? It's the Cullen house calling.
That would be so funny. Wait a minute.
I mean, he must not have had it, but
You should at that day and age.
yeah, it definitely existed. Well,
Yes. He's not on
well, in 2011, I mean, they have like iPhones in this movie.
Yeah.
But I was gonna say, like, when the book came out,
2008,
you
they definitely
could
had.
believe we didn't have it at my house.
Oh, you didn't?
No, but
Yeah, and maybe in a more rural part of the country, people don't have it as much.
But yeah. But they should have had caller ID. Caller ID, yeah, it is very useful and stuff. But I do kind of miss the days before it sometimes.
I don't know if you have this, but at my parents' house, the caller ID, because they still have landlines everywhere, it says the name now of the person who's calling all throughout the house. So it's like,
Really?
yeah, it's like, Karen is calling. Or like, call from Anderson Home. Or whatever.
Wow.
It's scary.
Can't do pranks anymore.
No, but it's funny because cell phones now, sometimes it'll say like the maybe.
Yeah.
And it'll have the town, but if you don't have their number,
I know. It's weird.
it doesn't tell you who's calling. We've like gone backwards in that way. Then, do we just move on to the birth?
I guess so. super disturbing Black Swan-esque scene that
Yes.
kills me every time. Oh, it's
Yeah.
just so hard
I
to
don't.
watch.
It's hard to watch.
I can't watch it.
Would you change it? I wouldn't.
Okay, there is one thing I would change about it is that before she drops the cup and reaches for it and placenta detaches and she falls to the ground, that whole thing, I feel like there's a weird moment where no one's saying anything or doing
It's almost like
anything.
they're expecting it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They should have cut that.
Yeah, I agree.
Or
It should have been like she should have been talking and
Yeah.
then like grabs the cup. Yeah.
Because Rosalie looks like she's waiting for it.
Yeah. That's a fault of the actors where they know it's coming and they're yeah.
Yeah.
And the editing and the directing.
Yeah.
It's everyone's fault there.
How did they not catch that?
I can say this like I'm a movie expert. Like I just know.
Well, you know what? We've paid such close attention to these that
Yes, exactly.
we've learned a lot.
This girl at my work today was like, "So how many times have you seen the first Twilight?" And I was like, I don't know, maybe just like 200 times. And she's like, "What?"
Do you actually think it's that many?
Well, I used to watch it every day
Really?
in middle school when it first came out, and
I
I
actually
think
never watched it every day.
I would say it's definitely not once a month, but I think I've seen it enough times that it would average once a month of the past 11 years,
Wow.
right?
I definitely haven't seen it that many times.
She said that she asked me if I could quote the whole first movie, and I was like, yeah, for the most part. And she said that we should do like a live show where we just recite the whole movie and then take a drink every 10 minutes. And so it's like a whole crowd of people just like reciting, chanting the dialogue to the movie.
What if we got to the point though where we couldn't do it?
Someone in the crowd knows the next line. Somebody does.
That would be insane.
If it was like everybody at the Twilight Festival just reciting the whole movie, that would be so funny for 2 hours. Or if we couldn't remember a line, we'd take a drink.
After we record this, I want to
See how far we can go. Yeah.
Yeah, so she drops the cup and then they need to get the baby out and it's total chaos.
I
and-
honestly love this scene.
Yeah, they did a good job.
I think it's great. It totally goes there.
Yeah.
And you can't half-ass this.
It's intense. It's scary. She's
And-
like cutting in and out of consciousness.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's real, it's raw. You see the spit coming off her mouth.
Yeah.
Like I just like how intense it is because it's supposed to be that way. And in the book it was crazy.
Yeah.
When you see Rosalie look at the scalpel and there's blood and then Edward attack her,
Yeah.
like
and the sound effects like
it's good. Bill Condon, amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. And
And then
baby's born.
the baby's born. She basically dies. Rob's acting in this part.
Amazing. So heartbreaking.
Amazing. This might be his best performance of the whole series. It's so good.
He's like, you're not dead.
You're not dead. You're not dead. Come on.
I know.
So good.
Man.
And then, then we see Jacob imprint. We have this flash forward. Somehow he knows what she looks like in the future. I mean, that's clearly just for the audience to be like, okay.
He doesn't know, but
Okay, like
they're
she's
showing
gonna
us.
grow up. It's not just
Yeah.
a baby.
Yeah.
Like, okay, but like still it's weird.
why? I don't get why they had to have a CGI actor with Mackenzie Foy, who plays Child Renesmee, with her face on it to be an adult. Like, why didn't they just find an adult woman that kind of looks like her?
They should have.
'Cause I can tell.
I
can
think
tell.
the adult CGI is not as bad, but the baby CGI is so bad.
Yeah.
And they should have. I know that Renesmee as a baby has to be a little bit more alert, but just let that go.
Yeah, just let it go.
It would have been better. It would have felt more real.
No, the adult CGI really bugs me. I feel like I can tell so much that it's not a real person.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, it's just there so less frequently. The baby CGI really kills me. I mean, they have a real baby in the birth right there, and that was
Yeah.
so cute.
Yeah.
Like, you don't need a baby to look exactly like the child actor playing her.
I know. CGI just doesn't really work.
They were overly
It's
confident
always
at that point.
uncanny.
Yeah.
Uncanny Valley, whatever they call it.
I think it's okay when she's like a toddler and like she's still a child. Like, it still looks a little bit awkward, but it's not as bad.
well, that's the next movie. So
Yeah.
let's wait a second. But yeah, Jacob imprints. Oh, and then we get the Robert Pattinson has to deliver this super cheesy line.
Yeah, poor Rob.
It won't hurt her.
It's their most absolute law.
Whoever Wolf imprints on.
They can't hurt. I feel so bad. Rob, I was saying during the movie, don't let this represent what Twilight is. Yeah. Like, Rob, that's not like the epitome of the series. Like,
no.
Don't think of Twilight as that, okay?
He doesn't.
Yeah, he doesn't.
Remember in that interview, he said that he watched New Moon and he really liked it.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. He doesn't think that's the epitome of Twilight.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. That part's just too over the... There's a lot of parts that are over the top delivery.
Yeah.
It's not his fault.
It's not his fault. It's the line.
Just...
I don't know what he could do to make that better. I feel bad for actors when they have scripts like that where it's just like... people are gonna think it's bad, but there's nothing else I can do here.
Yeah.
Like, he just did his job.
Oh, there's a scene when Jacob was talking to Carlisle, and it was very dramatic.
Mm-hmm.
But again, this movie was leaning into it with over the top, like drama.
Yeah,
kinda.
you have to accept that it's a piece of camp.
Mm-hmm.
Which camp? That was the theme of the Met Gala this past year in 2019.
I think we may have spoken about it on the
Yeah,
show.
it's just like ironic, outrageous.
You think our listeners don't know what camp is?
If they don't, does your mom?
I think a lot of people know what it is.
Okay,
It's
never mind.
kind of an old concept.
Okay.
It's just the Met Gala. I already knew what it was,
Mm-hmm.
but
I knew what it was too.
I feel like people were confused. Although the thing is, I always thought of camp in more of the Twilight way, like, because I always read Entertainment Weekly growing up, and they would always describe shows and movies as being campy, and so I knew of it as this more subtle way, kind of. And then when everyone was like, no, it means like over the top, like drag queen or whatever. Yes, it does, but like it's not only that. So,
Yeah.
I don't know.
I thought of it like somewhat synonymous with like gay icons.
Yeah.
But I think that can go hand in hand with like subtleties that we see in movies like Twilight. Mm-hmm. Like, I feel like I've seen, even though I don't think that she embraced it, that like people have considered Judy Garland camp in a way.
Yeah.
Really, some of her performances. That's pretty much the movie. And then we have this montage. Oh, the animations when Bella's transforming. I do not like those.
She's transforming into a vampire.
I like when we see the like flashes of her screaming to show how painful it is.
That's really creative.
That's
like that.
creative and it's scary.
It is scary. But the part where it's inside her body with all the red blood cells and stuff, it's like Osmosis Jones.
It reminded me of Rugrats.
Or Magic School Bus.
Yes. I don't like it. I don't like anything inside the body. Not for that. It's so far. I mean,
I know.
We have to let it go, but it's so far from Twilight.
Mm-hmm. I know.
You would not see that.
Did they have to do that?
No, I mean, that's not necessary. Like, we get it. Like, I think they conveyed that well enough with you seeing her hair change color and, like, her skin. Oh, it's, like, weird when her, like, breasts just, like, pop up.
I know. They're all watching intently, and the camera zooms in on her eyes, and she opens them, and they're bright red, and there's this dramatic sound. And that's it. And it cuts to these credits that look like it's from... Yeah, it's very tongue-in-cheek, I think, in a way.
Yeah.
Because it's bright red, black, white, with like a thick font.
Yeah.
It almost looks like a movie from the 40s or whatever, like Attack of the 40-Foot Woman, or like those crazy movies like The Blob or whatever.
Yeah. Or even, like, maybe, like, a movie from the 80s. It's just, like, a teen movie.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. That's what it looks like.
It's leaning into people's opinions about Twilight, in a way.
Kind of.
I don't hate it.
No, I don't mind it.
I think it's, like, they had to go that route, in a
The
way.
credits are a little Halloween-ish to me.
Yeah. It's different from the other credits we've seen in the series. It's really far from, like, the alternative vibes from before. It is a few years later, so, like, times have changed.
What do you mean alternative vibes?
Well, like the first credits, I feel like were kind of emo mixed with like Hollister in a way, like Hollister ads.
Interesting.
You know, like when you had like the beauty shots and like the black and whites, or like Abercrombie, I guess. And
I never thought of it that way.
yeah, but then it's also like with like the Radiohead
That's not
song.
alternative.
No, but then you have the Radiohead song, and like it's just like very
This song's
artistic.
by Metric. That's an alternative band.
I know, but it's just like slideshow.
Yeah, I guess so.
There's nothing like artistic about it.
I feel like it kind of is
Yeah,
artistic.
almost like a it's, what do you call that? Like pop art.
Well, it doesn't really go that far, but it was definitely a creative choice, I think. I mean, more than New Moon Eclipse's credits for just black screen with, you know, the typical white font
That's true.
over it in, like, Times New Roman or something.
That's true.
Not
These
Times New Roman, but,
stood out. Yeah.
Yeah. It is just kind of weird. When the credits start, I feel like immediately what the message is like, wasn't that weird? Like, wasn't that crazy? Wasn't that funny? That's just what the credits feel like to me.
Yeah, I feel that. That is true.
Yeah.
It was weird. It was funny. It was crazy. It was crazy. That was a crazy movie.
It is crazy.
Crazy. So how would you grade this movie?
Oh,
I don't even want to grade it. I don't want to grade it because I don't love it, and I don't want to give it a bad grade, but I don't want to give it a great grade because
C minus?
Yeah, me too. C minus. When I first saw it, I said it was my favorite of all the Twilight movies.
Me too.
So Bill Condon, I hope you know that, like, when I saw this, I was so impressed. I was blown out of the park. I couldn't sleep,
This is my favorite.
couldn't eat. I was so crazy obsessed with it. And did I say this already? It's different watching it on the big screen for the first time, especially when you're in an audience and you're all super excited and hyped and hyper.
Yeah.
And it's such an experience that, like, you could never replicate or live over once. But then just, like, watching it in your living room for, like, the, like, 20th time, you notice things.
Yeah.
But the wolf scene in the theater, right away, we were like, this is not good.
Yeah. I think I felt a little uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've had this message for a long time waiting from an awesome listener who sent us a recording way back. Oh, I thought it was longer ago. September 15th.
That's a while ago.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we were at the festival when we listened to it.
She sent us a message about Breaking Dawn the movie and her thoughts on it. And it's really cool. This is from Rachel.
Hey, Cal and Mel. I'm Rachel. I'm a huge fan of the podcast. And like you guys, I'm rediscovering my love for Twilight 10 years later. I was in 8th grade when the first movie came out, and 7th grade when I read the books. And I was semi-recently rewatching the movies, and that led me into rereading the books. And then I kind of stumbled upon your podcast because I just really wanted to talk about certain parts of this movie with someone, and turns out very few people are still interested in the Twilight series, so I'm very thankful for this podcast. And honestly, I feel like a part of your dialogue when you guys are talking about certain things. I laugh along with you guys, and it's really great, so I'm a huge fan. But anyway, I don't know if you guys are going to be reviewing Breaking Dawn for your next episode, but if you are, I thought I could add my 2 cents. I love the Twilight, the first movie. Also love New Moon because later in life, my second time around, I realized I'm a Team Jacob fan. I used to be a Team Edward fan, so Twilight and New Moon hold special places in my heart. And the New Moon soundtrack was the most amazing soundtrack out there. Twilight was a piece of beautiful artwork. But Breaking Dawn is probably my least favorite. I think the first 3 movies / books could kind of stand alone as this amazing trilogy of this beautiful high school love, like with the supernatural world incorporated, and it's just a really great storyline. And then we kind of get into Breaking Dawn, which I feel like was like added on to appease viewers, and it kind of just gave the world everything that like that Lionsgate thought that we wanted. You know, it was like they thought that viewers would be like, oh, you know, this is a great love story, but it kind of sucks that Bella and Edward can't have kids, right? And they were like, oh, wait, you know, like, let's come up with a solution. Like, let's give them a kid. And then that kind of created this weird question of, like, a lot of weird questions. Like, one, do vampires have active sperm? Like, that's, like, it was weird, right? And then the other, you know, thing that the viewers probably didn't like was that, like, oh, like, Jacob now has no one, that sucks. And they're like, wait, you know, our solution to this could be, like, let's let Jacob imprint on Renesmee. Like, great idea. And that was just weird too. I mean, it was not natural. It was just kind of like trying to fill in the blanks, like tie up loose ends, and it created for a really, like, pandering storyline. Also, I think the CGI effects were weird. I think, like, okay, first of all, Renesmee being a CGI baby, like, couldn't they just had, like, a really cute baby as Renesmee? I mean, why did it have to be this? Obviously, it's a CGI baby. Second of all, the CGI effects of the wolves, like that, the scene with Jacob and Sam talking as wolves, and it's like, I am the grandson of Ephraim Black. Like, that was just so corny. It honestly, like, makes the whole Twilight series look so corny. Okay, maybe that was actually Breaking Dawn Part 2. But anyway, just Bella getting pregnant and that whole just storyline was just unnecessary and weird. Anyway, yeah, I'm just not the biggest fan of Breaking Dawn as a sequel. I almost wish that Stephanie just, like, left it at the first 3 books and kind of just let readers fill in the blanks on the rest of the story. Maybe, like, released later her thoughts on how it would end up. But yeah, I'm not a fan. That's all. Thanks for listening to me. Keep doing what you guys do. You're the best.
Whoa, Rachel, thanks for sending that.
Thank you. We were just listening again and laughing along with it and agreeing and nodding our heads with everything you said.
It's crazy that we happened to agree with everything.
Pretty much everything.
You really hit the nail on the head.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we know a lot of people don't agree with us. We just want to say, when we did go to the Twilight Festival, we asked pretty much everyone what their favorite movie was, and most people said Breaking Dawn. Yeah. Either of the Breaking Dawns. So we don't want to alienate people.
Yeah. Like, if you love Breaking Dawn, a lot of people do. Mm-hmm. So we just so happen to not love it the most. Mm-hmm. But yeah, Rachel, it's just, I agree. Like, I would have been sad or, like, a little frustrated if Eclipse just ended the way it did. But I also think it's good sometimes to leave room to wonder what happens next. Yeah. Because really, there's nothing to think about anymore when you think about Twilight. You know what I mean?
After Eclipse?
I mean, after Breaking Dawn. I guess you can wonder, like, oh, where do they live now? Or what are they doing? But it kind of just feels like,
Somewhat you wonder the Volturi, but yeah, it feels like that's a conflict that might just never be resolved. Yeah. It's not impending. Yeah. I think the wedding, you have to see it. You have to see them have sex because...
That's so true, actually.
They talk about it so much that you just have to experience that. But you could have maybe put it on the end of Eclipse and then cut other things out. Because it is, as we were saying when I was watching the movie, it is a weird place for a wedding that you're supposed to be emotionally invested in the beginning of a story.
Or maybe something else should have happened in Breaking Dawn and then it was still at the end of Breaking Dawn.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I agree.
I know it's kind of like a trope or whatever, a cliche, but it does feel like maybe it's just ingrained in us as humans, storytelling over the years. It does feel like weddings should be at the end of a story.
I think a wedding that you're supposed to care deeply about to be at the
Yeah.
end of a story. Because it's weird to be like pulling on your emotions so much in such a resolved way.
I mean, I don't actually mind that it's the beginning of Breaking Dawn. I mean, because we've been waiting for the whole series, so but just as a movie format, it's just a little odd. But I was just thinking, because Rachel said at the end there, like, I kind of wish that she just ended it at Eclipse and then just told us maybe later on released like where she thought things ended up. I was thinking, you know how like J.K. Rowling has randomly just tweeted and said like what people will ask. I hate that she does this personally. In my opinion, I don't think authors should do this, but people ask her like, oh, what happened to Neville Longbottom? And she'll be like, oh, he's a professor. Or
She just has an answer up her sleeve.
She has an answer. What if people just asked Stephanie Meyer, like, so what happens to Edward and Bella and Jacob? Okay, well, Bella gets pregnant and it's an accelerated pregnancy and Jacob imprints on the baby.
Wait.
She just tweets
what?
that out.
I will say on the question of like, does Edward have sperm? I feel like it's just his venom is sperm. But then I was thinking in the movie, when he injects it into her heart, what if she just got pregnant in her heart?
No, that doesn't make sense. Because, I mean, Rosalie has sperm.
No, but she doesn't have ovaries.
Don't they have ovaries, but there's just nothing?
She doesn't have eggs, I think. Yeah. So, but I think that it makes sense that male vampires, their sperm can go up and fertilize with a human egg.
Sperm.
Yeah. But guys, you should keep sending us in voicemails because we love it so much.
Yeah, if you have a passionate response to this in defense of Breaking Dawn Part 1, go right ahead.
Go send us an email, send us an Instagram voice recording, and we might use it.
Yeah.
Crazy.
All right. Well, thank you for listening.
Thank you. I think that's it. Yeah.
Wow. That was Breaking Dawn.
Yes. And then if you guys want, we'll bring Straight Guy Dan back in a few episodes. Yeah. Probably not the next one.
No.
We'll give him a rest for now. And he'll probably have some thoughts. I'm interested to see what he says Breaking Dawn.
All right. We love you guys.
We love you.
Twilight forever.
Twilight forever.
Welcome to Twilight.
Woo! Woo! Have a great week. We love you. Stay cool. Keep loving Twilight and like and subscribe.
Don't say that.
I said it too late.
No, that's desperate.
You gotta say it. You gotta play the game. I said it.
To subscribe, even apply. I guess like and subscribe.
Like.
I don't think
like
applies.
On YouTube. Some people listen on YouTube. All right, don't cut it out. Don't even bother.
Okay.
Bye guys.
You can contact us at anotherbiteoftwilight@gmail.com or find us on Twitter, Tumblr, and Instagram at anotherbiteoftwilight. Theme music is by Traces. See you next time.